Rolex is one of the few, if not the only, brands with such an unique design. They are athletic, active, and wear tool watches. That's a big part of their DNA. In the 1950s, they released the Submariner, Explorer, Milgauss, and GMT, all of which were developed and built to be used as tools. So that was and still is their bread and butter. Later in life, it turned into a luxury brand, which is today what they're renowned for. So the amazing thing about them is that they were originally tool watches that have now become luxury. When it comes to luxury watches, Rolex is one of those brands that falls somewhere in the middle. The $8,000 of the Submariner. The Oyster Perpetual is Rolex's entry-level watch for $5,000. They are self-winding, waterproof, and precise. There are 3 characteristics. Additionally, they place a strong emphasis on quality. A Rolex is made in 1 year. They go through a lot of tests. The timing, the chronometer, and the accuracy are all about telling and keeping the right time. They also offer extensive aftercare, so if your Rolex ever breaks, you can take it to them and have it fixed. Before it leaves, the clasp is opened and closed 1,000 times to ensure that it will not break when you receive it. If you take care of your Rolex, it will last you 20 years, which is why you should buy one now. If you take good care of it, it will last you 100 years, because you are likely purchasing something that will last you a lifetime. That is ultimately why they are so costly. Also something that can be handed down to future generations. The market for vintage Rolex watches is part of the world of collectors. Additionally, there is a vast underground of distinct nuances, such as GMTs with matte dials and gilt dials, as well as countless other minute details that alter a watch's value. The most expensive Rolex ever sold at auction was the Paul Newman Daytona, which went for $17.8 million last fall. The Paul Newman Daytona is a great illustration of this. In the 1970s, they released a Daytona with exotic dials, but they were unable to sell them. Additionally, they are now the most collectible watches available on the vintage market. There is a lack of information regarding the number of Rolexes produced annually and per model. However, there are some, like the Rainbow Daytona, which was released this year and is rumored to have been made in a certain number of very small quantities. They are very much for men and women, which I find refreshing considering that many brands brand watches with a lot of diamonds as if they were made for women. Rolex, on the other hand, does the same thing but is more or less unisex. I wear a lot of Rolex for men. However, the ladies' Datejust is the Rolex model that has sold the most copies to date in two-tone. Which is a truly enjoyable fact. Although you never know the exact number, you do know that there aren't many. What's more, they're difficult to get. The fact that any Rolex can be worn by anyone is one of its best features.